What's up guys, it's Bucky and welcome back to another Backgammon tutorial. In this tutorial what I'm going to be doing is beginning to talk about strategy and give you guys some tips that are going to give you the competitive advantage over your opponent. So check this out. The first thing that I want to talk about is making a new point. So a new point again is taking two or more checkers and putting it on an empty point. Now a new point is good for a couple of reasons. First of all, when you're traveling around the board with your checkers, it gives you a safe space to land because remember, one checker alone is vulnerable to be hit. So you often want to make new points for that reason. Also, as you can see, one of your opponent's checkers can't land on a point that's occupied by two or more of your checkers. So that's why another reason that making a new point is good, because it gives your opponent more problems and it makes it more difficult for them to move around the board. So there you go. So let's go ahead and take a look at some common opening plays. And let me just tell you guys this. Here's a little quick rule you can remember. As soon as you start out on your opening play, anytime you roll the dice and the numbers on it are separated by two spaces, for example 1 and 3, that's separated by two spaces, 2 and 4, 3 and 5, or 4 and 6. Anytime your dice are separated by two numbers, you can go ahead and make a new point in your home board, and this is going to be a great advantage to start out. So let's go ahead and take a look at those points right now. Say you roll this 1 and your 3 to start. Here's what you typically want to do. You want to move this 6 point to a 5 to get a checker on your 5 point, and move this one on your 8 point, 1, 2, 3. So move this one 1, move this one 3, and check it out. You now got your new 5 point. And what's the benefit of this? First of all, when you're traveling around, you now have a safe spot to land. And also, it makes these two checkers harder to escape from go past your home board. So now that they can land on 1, 2, 3, or 4, they now have 4 and 5 blocked off, as well as 7 right there. So it's going to make it a lot more difficult for them to move around to get those last checkers out. So another thing, 2 and 4, your 2 and your 4 is going to give you your new 4 point. Your 3 and your 5 is going to give you your new 3 point. And whenever you roll a 4 and a 6, that's going to give you your new 2 point. That isn't really useful because it's I mean, if you roll it, you roll it, but it's going to be real easy for your opponent to roll anything to hop right over you. But anyways, still a good play nonetheless. So that is your basics of why making a new point is good. And remember, your little tip, when starting out, anytime you have a roll separated by two numbers, you can always make a new point in your home board. So don't forget it. Alright guys, the next scenario I want to point out is whenever you have the option of making a point in your home board versus making a point in your outer board. Now let's say you've been playing for a little bit and the board looks like this. Remember, you're brown right now. So you just rolled a 6-1, and remember from my last tutorial I told you it's always a good idea to make a new point. So you're looking at the board, looking to make a new point, and you see that you have two options. You can go ahead and play your 6-1 like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and move this one to 1, which will give you a new point in your home board. Or what you can do is make your new 7 point by playing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and moving your 8 to 7 for your 1. Now this will give you a new point on your 7 right here. So you're saying, alright, should I have a new point on my 5 or a new point on my 7? Which one is more beneficial and why? Well, typically when you have the option of making a new point on your home board versus making a new point on your outer board, you typically want to make a new point on your home board. Now, this exists for a couple of reasons. First reason is this. These checkers on your 6 point are kind of hard to play because if you look at these checkers back here, here are all the options you can move it to, all of these points. But these checkers on your 6 point right here, you only have 4 options right now. So whenever you have the opportunity to make a good play with these checkers, you typically want to do so. Another thing is if you go ahead and play your 6-1 right now, you see that not only does it make it harder for these chips to escape, but whenever you capture any checkers that are coming off the bar, remember they got to roll off and they got to land on one of these spots right here. So whenever you can block more spots for them, it's going to make it harder for them to come off the bar. And remember, if they're not able to come off the bar in their roll, then they have to pass their turn. So if you fall from behind but you got a good block set up right here, then this leads to potential for a huge comeback. Or if you're in the lead, then you can pull away and secure your win. So anyways, anytime you can make a point in your home board, you typically want to do so. And this is a perfect example of that.